Well, in me, I don't have that much jet lag,
Yeah.
because I'm not doing
Long haul,
hauls.
yeah.
For example, when I started in aviation, we didn't have reserved seats. Now we have.
Really?
Yes, we didn't have reserved seats.
You also check the boarding passes before you know.
We used to check the boarding passes. We don't check boarding
so this
passes
is new.
anymore. Yes.
Ever since when?
Since the coronavirus, they stopped misconceptions that we are
Yes.
flirting with pilots, maybe.
That what?
They are just normal people that they have normal life,
Yeah.
like.
How do you handle cultural differences and language barriers when it comes to number one, crew members, and number two, passengers?
Sometimes it's hard, like.
Yeah.
That.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Today I'm with Elisabete, or Ellie as I usually call her. And she was on my channel like a couple of years ago, and I interviewed her about her position at Ryanair as a cabin crew, because she had been at that time a cabin crew. I think it was for 10 years plus.
It was 10 years.
It was 10 years. It was a 10-year like anniversary. So we've been in touch recently, especially now she's graduated. But today actually marks, when I say graduated, I mean graduated from Ryanair. So she has a new position now. And so today actually marks her 13-year anniversary in aviation. We were kind of thinking the same. We had the exact same idea because we planned to meet today, but not to film content. We actually planned to meet today just to catch up, because Ellie is actually stationed here in London. Yeah, for her new job, and maybe we'll get into that a little bit more. But it just happened like at the right time that we were able to kind of decide that, yeah, actually today is the absolute perfect day. When she told me that today is my 13-year anniversary, I was like, what? Like, congratulations, maybe we can film something.
Exactly.
And she was like, I was thinking the exact same thing. And here we are in Hyde Park filming. So I'm going to be asking her a few questions and she'll be answering them, and this is literally just to commemorate the day, and hopefully to actually give you guys, those of you who are cabin crew and those of you who are aspiring cabin crew, this is just to give you guys some motivation and inspiration. Yeah. So Ellie, would you like to say anything, introduce yourself a little bit more?
It's like you said before, I'm 13 years in aviation, and now I'm not in Ryanair anymore. I changed this year, and I'm working for a charter for SMEI, and yeah, that's it. So first and foremost, congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, so question number one. What initially inspired you to become a flight attendant, and how has that motivation changed or evolved over the years? Yeah.
Well, to be honest, like being a flight attendant was never a dream, like it was something that was an opportunity that just came. I took the opportunity, and like with the years, I understood that this is what I really love to do, that like flying is my passion. And I love to be surrounded by people, like inside the aircraft, taking people from one side to another one, and that's it.
You're a people person.
Yeah. It's like I love to be socializing with the people, talking, finding new stories, to meet new people every day, so it's my...
Your calling. You were saying that it's your calling, your passion.
Yeah, it is. I love what I do, thanks God.
Yes. It's so important to love what you do, because then it's almost like it doesn't feel like work. It's like it's just a part of your life.
Yeah, you have to enjoy what you're doing. Otherwise, like it's gonna be like a sacrifice, Like if you don't love what you're doing, you're gonna be always like bored. And I know me, every time I go to work, I'm always happy, to work, to do the things, because I really enjoy what I do,
Yeah. How do you handle difficult passengers or challenging situations on board? That's either for your last job with Ryanair or this current job. How, like, and maybe even how do the passengers different?
Yes,
Differ, sorry.
the passengers, they are totally different. Now I can say that in my new job, it's very rare to have difficult passengers or difficult situations, because it's like, I don't know, but I feel like the passengers that we have now I'm doing flights for British Airways, they are totally different, you know, like if the passengers that I had for Ryanair, they were like going a low cost, so they have this mentality that, you know, is a low cost, so we do whatever you want. So when we were trying to tell them to do something, most of the times they wouldn't respect like our orders, and they didn't want to follow our rules just because it's a low cost. And now I feel this difference that where I am now, people, they really, my passengers, they respect like when I tell them to do something, they respect it, and they are very comprehensive. And but yeah, like if you have a situation with a difficult passenger, you just have to try to deal with it, and then at the end, if you don't manage to deal with it, you have to pass to someone else, because otherwise if you keep insisting, and you're just going to escalate the situation, make it worse. And so it's better if you are not able to manage the situation, you just pass for someone else. And yeah, try to do your best, you know, like be patient, smile, try to understand them.
De-escalate as well.
Exactly, de-escalate the situation, you know, to not make it worse.
I remember when I was flying, we were traveling, I think it was to Barcelona, and there was a passenger right at the front of the aircraft, I think maybe row 2, or row 3, just right at the front, and she was actually snorting like drugs. Did you ever have a situation like that where you have to disembark the passengers? No, sorry, not disembark, but offload.
I had only once in my career someone that I had twice, but once was because she had like psycho problems, and we could see that she was not okay. She was not fit to fly, she was lost, you know, she had no idea like where she was. And at the end we had to force her to disembark the aircraft. It was a really like a sad situation to do it. And then I had like another time someone was just like making a drama because we were asking to put the bag under the seat because we needed the space, you know, this typical situation that every day it happened in Ryanair, that we needed the space for the big bags, so we were removing the small bags. He started to shout, he started to complain and everything, and at the end, because I didn't want the situation to escalate, you know, I was like, okay, I'm not going to be bothering I left as soon as I'm leaving to go to the front. The guy just like grabbed my shoulder. No. Yes, it was like the first time in my life.
Yeah, somebody kind of crossed the boundary.
He grabbed my shoulder and he was like, I want to know your name. And yes, like this. And when the dispatcher saw it, and I told this story to the captain, they said immediately, no, this dispatcher has to go outside because we are not taking this person, because he could become more aggressive during the flight, and you never know. So yeah, it was the only time I had this situation, and we had to offload him. Yes. Yeah.
But you kind of got through it. Were you a number one at that time?
Yes.
So you had to fill in the form and everything.
Yes,
and
we have to report the situation. When these kind of things they happen, you have to fill out a report, because then they have sometimes, most of the times they get banned, you know, they go to this list. Yes. And they cannot fly again with Ryanair or whatever is the airline, you know, yes.
Yeah, I think it's important in situations like that to maybe not even like to take it personal and not allow it to completely, and just to know how to deal with it. Yeah, just to know how to deal with it.
But yes, like in aviation, every day is a surprise.
Every day.
Every day.
When you're dealing with people, it's always going to be a surprise.
I mean, I'm 13 years here, and every day there is a new situation that you have to deal with. That's why I love my job, because every day there is something
new
happening
adventure,
new. Yes, I never get bored. You know, there is always something happening new.
Yes. Thank you so much for that answer. All right, so What are some of the most significant changes you've seen in aviation over the years? This one would be interesting, I think.
About technology, it's so different from the times that I started than from now. You know, like when I started like in aviation, we didn't have phones, we didn't have apps. Everything was like we were printing our schedule in a paper and writing the crew in the paper and put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Nowadays, no one is doing that anymore. Everything is in the app. Like if there is any like how we call it change in the crew, in the time.
You can't view it on the PDP.
Everything it's on the app.
Yeah,
you know, you
app.
see like all the changes are constantly online. You know, like everything is online nowadays. Like I don't know, for example, when I started in aviation, we didn't have reserve seats. Now we have.
Really?
Yes, we didn't have reserve seats. Now we have reserve seats. You can even know where you have empty seats.
Yeah.
I mean, in my new company, no, because then they still printing this paper list, you know, for all of us.
Yeah.
It's different, but for example, in Ryanair, we have the seat map, so we know where is the people sitting and we know where are the empty seats.
And you also check the boarding passes before you know.
We used to check the boarding passes. We don't check boarding
so this
passes
is new.
anymore. Yes.
Ever since when?
Since the coronavirus, they stopped the checking boarding passes as well. Now we don't check the boarding passes. But yes, technology, he brought so many like new things. Like, for example, let's say talking about Ryanair, we can make swaps online. Before we were like putting a paper to ask swaps. Like, I don't know, to buy uniform. It used to be as well in a paper. Now everything is online. You go to the website and it's online. Like practically everything that you have to do it's online. You know, like even the crew control. We used to they used to call us. Nowadays you don't even the number. I don't think it's like working that much. Everything that you have to do it's like through online through the app that we have, and we send a query. And they answer through there, yes. Like we don't call them anymore. As well, like my new company, most of the things, if we want to contact crew control, is through email. Is like the easiest thing. Like nowadays everything is online.
It's online.
Yes.
What about the aircrafts? Same?
No, the aircrafts as well. I'm working in a different aircraft. Now I used to work in the Boeing, the 737-800 and the 737-800 MAX, 8,200. And now I'm working with Airbus, the A320 and A321. Yes, and it is a bit different than like how we were speaking
you were talking about it.
Like it's the first week was kind of like, oh my god, I don't know how to work in the aircraft. Imagine, like after so many years that I was doing this job, I felt lost, you know, because it was totally different, you know, like the how the call bells they ring, how we call like to the front and everything. Interphones are different. The some procedures are different, you know, like. And I was feeling like a new cabin crew, you know, but with the time I got used to, and now I'm okay.
Okay, you're good. Yeah, because you need to actually, I know in Ryanair, knowing the aircraft, where things are located is a big thing.
Yeah, because for example, indeed, now that you are speaking about that, for example, in Ryanair, we used to know, like we had to know, like where was all the equipment, the emergency equipment and everything. Like for example, in my new company, because we have different type of aircrafts, so every aircraft has a checklist.
Exactly.
So when we go to check when we arrive to the aircraft and we have to do our security search, we just take our checklist. We go through our checklist. Every position has a different checklist, and we just we use the checklist as a reminder in case you forget something. And we go there, we follow the checklist, and it's easier.
It's easier.
Yes, it's easier. Yeah,
that's good. That is very good. Sometimes things don't need to be complicated. The most important thing is safety, you know? And why not? If you can make your life easier, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you ensure passengers' safety and comfort during a flight? And I guess you could maybe give tips that maybe different tips, your personal tips, yeah.
Like we just like, I don't know, like we keep passing through the cabin like frequently, so we see, and it's about like I think about like safety and comfort. It's about like for you to be aware, like if you are a good observer,
Yes.
even like during the boarding, you know, you can understand if someone is scared. So if like, for example, someone is scared, you keep an eye on them, you keep passing and asking them if they are okay or not. It's about for you to be aware of your environment, you know, like you just keep passing the cabin and you see like, I don't know, like it's about that, you know, like you have to be like aware of the people that is around you, you know, and if they need some help, you are there to help them, you know, like
just being sensitive to what's around you,
yes.
like just caring for people around you. Yeah. I think that's an important factor.
Yes.
Sometimes it's so easy to do like the bare minimum, like okay, I've served you drinks, I've given you food, I've done the service, but then you forget to just kind of, you know, just be aware. So,
yeah, because some people, you know, they just want, sometimes they just want some attention, they just want to speak to you, you know, they want to, at time, you know, sometimes even if you just smile at them, they're happy, you know, you made their day, you know. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's important for us to, like, to be always passing the cabin and be aware of the needs of our passengers, you know, like,
definitely.
Yes.
Can you describe a time where you had to respond to an in-flight emergency?
Yes, like for emergencies, you know, like the most like basic things are like the medical emergencies, like people fainting, people with panic attacks. It's very common, like people scared of flying. I have a lot of these situations, and you know, like that's what we were like discussing the other day. It's about like experience. As soon as you have more of these situations, then you are faster and you are more aware how to respond faster. But yeah, like of course there are some times that is the first time that these situations they happen to you, and you are like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do now? Because it never happened to you. But everything, it's about like, you know, experience, and as soon as you get more experience in these kind of like special situations, you are more, you can answer faster, you know.
Yeah,
like,
be more responsive and
yes. But yes, of course, like you have always like medical situations. Thanks God, I mean, I never had like something very serious, you know, like no, not a death on board, not a birth, you know.
Not even a birth, no.
I never had these kind of serious situations, thanks God. Like most of my situations are like, you know, you have to give oxygen or something, because as well, it's not that we are not medics or nurses or something, so in case we have an emergency, we always make an announcement and ask for a medical qualified person. And most of the times we are lucky that we always have one. So then, of course, like it's much better like when we have someone else that really understands about the situation, and yeah, like it can help us, and we feel more safe, you know, if we have someone that understands. Like
qualified
for these things, you
these
know.
events. Yeah. So how do you stay up to date with the latest safety protocols and industry standards? Like how have you managed to maintain that for all these years?
Because I mean, most of the times it's not that the protocols and the procedures they really change; they are almost the same. But of course, yes, they with the times, and especially like if there are accidents or things like that, that's the reason like they're going to investigate why this happened. So if something, and that's why we have as well to report, because with the reports it means that something has to change. Like and then maybe they can improve some procedures and things like that. And yes, with the time as well, we receive these like, how we call it, amendments, like these like revisions that that they have to change the procedures, and yeah, like our manuals, they keep being updated as well with the years. And yeah, it's pretty much that. But it's not like it's, of course, like me, I when I started in Ryanair, like our drills, they used to be like, I use like sentence, and we had to
No, you told
to
me
write, yes.
you had to know but word for word.
Yeah, like you was like use sentence, then they changed it for a much easier way, you know, like as well they, like companies, they have to change the things to be more practical for everyone, you know, and in an easier way for us to memorize the items, you know. But yeah, of course, like things, they change with the time, you know, because as well our needs and the needs of aviation and everything is changing, and the new things are appearing. So
Yeah.
it's normal that we have to change in some way, you know, like some things.
Yeah. And I remember you always used to be doing exams. Like, is it every 6 months or every 1 year?
Every 1 year we have to do the recruitment training. Like he used to be 2 days in the what we were calling crew room.
Yeah,
but because of
what you were calling.
coronavirus now, we don't really go to crew room anymore. I mean, now I don't even have a crew room.
No.
But in that time, like nowadays, at least like related to Ryanair, it's like we have to do the things online, all the exams online, and then we just go 1 day to the training room, and we make like the CPRs, moving a passenger, the recovery position, we see the equipment, but it's just 1 day, you know, it's less than used to be, because again, we do everything online.
Everything online.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to stay in this, well, probably in any aviation company, in any airline, you would have to do annual exams.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I know that, yes, in my company as well, we have the annual line checks, and during this annual line checks, instructor is going to be with you in the aircraft, so they're going to make you a lot of questions, you know, to make sure that you know what you are doing, you know, all the like the procedures like that you have to know. Yes, it's going to be an instructor doing that to you. Yes.
Good. Hope you guys are finding this really helpful so far. What strategies do you use to manage any jet lag that you may have after flying, and maintain a healthy lifestyle, and the other demands, and cope with the other demands of the job?
Well, in me, I don't have that much jet lag, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm not doing
Long
long
haul,
hauls,
yeah.
So I don't kind of how we call suffer from jet lag. But it's about like, because as well, like we, I mean, in Ryanair we used to work like 1 week in the earlies, another week in late.
Yes, that's it.
But for example, in my new company, it's kind of randomly, you know, like in the same week, maybe I can work like 2 days on earlies, 3 days on lates, you know,
okay,
like
yeah.
so. You just have to manage your time, and you know, like for example, in our case, in my new company, because we are in the hotel, so for example, even to go to work for earlies, I managed to sleep 8 hours, you know, because
Very good.
it's kind of, I come here and I'm just focused for work, you know,
Yeah.
so I kind of have time to rest, to take care of myself. I have time to go to the gym and everything, you know, like when I was in Ryanair, I have to, you know, to think about it, like I have to clean my house, I have to prepare food to take to work tomorrow.
But when
so
you're in
it
the
was
hotel,
more,
more normal
stress.
life.
Yes,
Yeah.
and like in Ryanair, you have like the normal life, and you still
Normal-
have to
yes,
fly.
yes.
In my case, it's like I come here just to work, you know, and that's it, and I have time to do the things. So it's easier in
a sense.
Yes, now in the one that I am now. Yes, it has less stress.
And you prefer it?
Yes,
Much better. It's just the right time, isn't it? Is it
it
the right
was
time?
it was the right time
Yeah.
to change it. Yes.
And how long have you been in your current position?
You mean like on my new company?
New
now?
job, new company?
So in my new job, I start the course in February, and then I start to fly at the end of March. So it's been 1 month and a half,
Yes.
something like that. Still like something new. It's just my further rotation here in London.
Yeah.
But I'm super happy.
Yes, good. I can tell you're happy. How do you manage the repetitive nature of the job? This might be more applicable to Ryanair because it was more predictable, 5 days on, 3 days off. How do you manage the repetitive nature of the job and still maintain like a fresh attitude and kind of treating each guest like, like with a kind of good energy?
Like, I don't know, like,
Each
because
passenger.
I mean, to be honest, I'm a person that I like routine, so I was happy with the 5-3, 5-3 because
Yeah.
for one side, like, you could plan all your life for all year,
Yeah.
So it is not a bad thing, and many people that they leave Ryanair, they say that the only thing they miss is like the schedule,
The
because
routine.
yes, at least you knew like when you're gonna be off. This now on my new airline, I have the schedule for only 1 month, and I have no idea. I mean, we can have an idea more or less, because it's not that it's really like totally different, because then at the end you're gonna have your days off more or less in the same time of the month, so you
Yes.
kind of can plan a bit. But yeah, because that's what I was like saying before.
Yeah.
That in aviation, even if you have like a pattern and it's kind of the same flights and everything, it's always a surprise. Every
Yeah.
day there is a surprise. There is, because you are dealing with people, and every day your passengers, they are different. So every day it's going to happen something. Then you always have like the traffic controllers. I don't know, it's so many things that they can happen in aviation.
Yeah.
That you never get bored of the job.
Yeah.
So yeah, and of course as well, like the fact that you have different crews as well working with you. Like, okay, I mean, now in my new job, I have the same crew all week most of the times. What is like, it's for one side is good because you get used to work with them, so you know how they work, and it's easier to adapt, yourself. In Ryanair, most of the times, every day was a different crew. What makes as well to not be so boring, because every day you know
New
that you're
people.
gonna be flying with new people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be the both sides, It can be
Yeah.
good because you know how they work, so you prefer to be with that crew. But if they are good, it's amazing. If they are not good,
Not so amazing.
you have to deal with that. In Ryanair, it has the thing that most of the times, like, you fly with different people.
That's it.
But as well, everything is gonna depend. Like in Ryanair, depends how big they are the bases. Like, because if you are in a smaller base, you're gonna be flying anyway with the same people.
Yeah, it's
If
true.
you are in bigger bases, then like everyone is sometimes you see one person like once per year. So.
Yeah.
Like it depends where you are based. Yes.
Yeah, I remember it was always a pleasure to fly with friends, to fly with the people who I knew I've had good flights with before, and sometimes like not so great with certain people.
I mean,
yeah.
but this is something that's gonna happen in every job. You're
Yeah.
gonna always have someone that you love and you connect better, and there is someone that you don't connect so good. But
Yeah.
it's life.
It's just life.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yes. What advice would you give to someone considering having a career as a cabin crew, a flight attendant?
Well, I mean, if you want to be a cabin crew, for me, I keep saying like you have to be a sociable person. It has to be someone that loves to be with the people. And second of all, you have to be a person that you're like open-minded and you are happy to meet new people, because it is a kind of, at least now I see a lot in my new company, because we know you are not home and they send you to different rotations, so we have different projects, so you have to be very like open-minded to like to adjust so quickly. And as well, like for example, like because we have different projects, so we are flying for different companies, so you have to be able to adjust very easily to be in different places, to work with different people, to do different service, And as well in Ryanair, it was kind of the same as well, but it was more easier because you are always in the same base,
Yeah.
like, so it's kind of easier. Still, you have to work with people from different nationalities,
Yes.
different cultures, like. So you have to be, if you want to be cabin crew, you have to be open-minded, because like, as well, it's sometimes a challenge job. You have to wake up earlier. Like maybe sometimes you have to
Very
wake up
early.
at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
You have shifts of 11, 12, 13 hours. Like big shifts, because then problems they happen. And you
Might be delayed.
Yes, and you cannot leave the aircraft and say bye bye. I'm leaving.
You have to get on with
You
whoever's
have
around
to stay
you.
there, that's the thing. So you have to be resilient as well.
Yes.
Yes, to deal with the situations with difficult passengers, like just, have be a person that you can easily adapt to the situations, because every time is a different thing, and you have to adapt yourself to the situations.
Yeah.
It's not like we are always doing the same.
You have to be adaptable.
Yes,
Yeah. Flexible.
You have to
Yeah.
be flexible, and because as well, like we were saying before, like about the schedules. 1 week we are in the morning, 1 week we are in the afternoon,
Yeah.
or like me, that in the same week I do earlys and lates. So like, you have to be happy to be flexible, and
Yeah.
let's say in case of, or even in my case, like that I have projects like whatever it is, and I'm happy to go wherever it is. As well, in Ryanair, it depends. Maybe sometimes people, they don't manage to stay in their own countries. They have to go somewhere else, and maybe they don't get the transfer when they need it. And you have to be willing, to go and live in another country. If you are not willing to do that, it's better that, well, this is not
Might
a
not
job
be for you. Because you're not exactly living here, but you're based here. You've been based like 15
for example,
days.
like in my new company, we, like, many people, they ask me like, oh, do you have a base? No, we don't have a base. I have a home base, that is where is my house, and we can choose anywhere in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, for example, me, I still living in Cyprus. That's where I was before with Ryanair.
Yeah.
So I keep living in Cyprus, but then during my working period, they can send me wherever the project it is. Like, for example, now I'm in London. There are another aircraft that they are in Paris, in Alicante, like, it's very randomly. So you have to be happy to, to be open to do this, like,
To travel, basically,
Yes.
to go to
Yes.
different places. It's actually quite interesting. It's a different experience. You get to, be in a different country.
Yeah, and
essentially
it's
live
good.
there.
It's
very
like
good.
you see, like now I have the opportunity to see you
There we
again.
go, yeah.
Yes, like so with these kind of projects everywhere, I have the opportunity to travel.
Yeah.
Yes, to see another countries, and as well to meet my old friends.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's
really
so
good.
cool. Yeah.
Very, very good. When we were talking on a previous point, this question came to mind, but I'm so happy I didn't ask it at that time. How do you handle cultural differences and language barriers when it comes to, number one, crew members, and number two, the passengers?
Sometimes it's hard, like
Yeah.
the other day, it was something that happened like a few days ago. I was doing the flight to Tirana in Albania. It was the first time I was in Albania, never been there. And like my boardings, they used to be like very easy, because most of the times I'm working with British passengers.
Yeah.
So they are amazing, like they know where they sit. But this one was a very challenge boarding, because they were not speaking most of the English, like, and then they didn't know where to sit, so they were blocking all the, like, so you just have to be patient, like, and then in these cases you have to help them, because if you just if you see that they are lost, and if you are just staring at them and you do nothing, you're just making the things worse, like, it's the same, like, I don't know, like during the boarding, if you see that admins are all full of bags and you keep seeing them, and it's better if you guide them where to put the bags and make like the things to go faster, because if you are waiting for them to, you know, find the space and everything, it's gonna take forever. And about the cabin crew, like you were saying, about the barriers with the culture and everything. You know, like at the beginning, I didn't know, but with the years of experience, you start to understand how it works, which culture and country and everything. Like, and of course, we cannot put all in the same box and say that this country or this culture is this way, because at the end, it's about kind of personalities.
Yeah, each individual.
But yes, but of course, I have my favorite countries and
which
cultures,
one is that?
I cannot say.
You can't say it?
I cannot say it. But as well, I have as well many surprises, you know. Sometimes we are like, you know, this country or this culture is not so good. And sometimes you have surprise. You are like, you know, like we are just being,
sometimes, you know, it's so easy to stereotype.
Yes, like it's like you were saying.
Like you might stereotype somebody may also stereotype your culture.
Yeah,
you know?
And as well, maybe they're gonna think like, Portuguese, they are so nice and everything. And then when they find one that is not nice, they believe that, you know, like it's the same. That's why, like, I learned that in this, like, in all the life, you know, like you can, if you. I mean, you just have to be open-minded.
Very
because
open-minded,
like
Elisabete is, I think I mentioned this before, but she's Portuguese. She's a Portuguese
you just
girl.
have to be open-minded and not stereotype the people, because sometimes you have surprises, you know, like there are like, you know, surprise like. But like you just have to be you know, patient.
Treat each person as an individual.
Because as well, like, it's about personalities, you know, like we are all different. Some people, they are more communicative, more sociable, and other ones they are more shy, you know, and other ones they're gonna take more time, you know, to be able to connect with you, and other ones, like, you connect with them like straight away.
Exactly.
So, you know, like, we are all different, so we have to
be accommodating.
Yes,
it's very important. I think this is probably one of the biggest things. Maybe not for everybody, but I think definitely, this is not about me, but I think when I joined as a cabin crew, I felt maybe some people might have stereotyped. Oh, we've got a dog here. Oh, it's a cute dog. I wish you could have seen the dog. It's such a love. Or maybe they saw it from behind. Yeah.
They saw it.
Yeah. I felt like maybe somebody was stereotyping me, you know, and it was one particular person, and I'm happy that they eventually changed their attitude at the end. But it's not nice because whenever you're being treated in a certain way, it's probably because somebody has already put you in a box, you know. So when you're kind, then it really just it's just a symbol, it's a sign that shows that, hey, actually, no matter where you're from, we can talk, we can engage. I'm going to treat you with respect. Yeah, as long as you treat me with respect.
And you have to be open, you know, like, you cannot just say like, I know I don't like this culture, or I don't like this country, and I'm not gonna speak to them, you know. Because it's like I'm saying, sometimes it's like we just like make stereotypes, and it's not like that, you know, because there is people that they are very nice, you know.
Exactly, just open-minded. Can you give an instance or any instances where teamwork made a significant difference to your flight?
Teamwork, like, it makes all the difference, you know, like, first of all, during the boarding I think it's like the most stressful, like, situation, you know. If there is no teamwork, like, it's gonna take forever, you know, like, so of course teamwork is very important for in every situation, even like for boarding, for service. If like you are always like helping each other, everything is gonna go faster, everything is gonna be you know, like, even as well in an emergency situation, you know, if you have a team that you're gonna gather and you help each other, it's like for every situation, you know, if there is no good teamwork, it's not gonna work.
Have you ever had a situation where maybe you had a member of your team, your crew, your cabin crew, that wasn't as cooperative, or just wasn't like really working as a
lot.
team? A lot, really.
A lot of situations, and when it's like you have to do everything by yourself because the other ones are not doing anything. But again, you have to deal with it, and you cannot think that, oh my god, I want to give up because every day is going to be like that. No, it's not going to be every day like that, but it will happen days that yes, you have to, because there are some crews that you cannot count on them. I'm sorry, unfortunately. It's like that. Sorry to be so honest, but you know, like there are some situations that you know that it has to be you the doing and dealing
Most
with
of the
thing,
work.
because
but it puts
you know
a big
that.
burden, no?
Tell me.
It puts a big burden on you or like one person.
Yeah, but it's like you just have to deal with it,
Yeah.
you know, like you know that sometimes like I mean everything is beautiful. We are saying like of course teamwork is amazing, and it's fantastic, and it should be like that. The team should work all together because that was supposed to work the thing, but sometimes you know that you cannot count on all of our team, and it's okay, you know, it's not going to be every day like that, but it's a reality, you know. It's a reality that happened, that sometimes you have to do things by yourself, because as well, like if you are counting on them, they're just gonna take even longer and longer and longer to for any thing, you know, like during the boarding, during the service, during anything, you know, like sometimes you have to do it by yourself. Even if you
just have to get on with it.
Yes, even like if you delegate the things, you tell them and everything, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. So teamwork makes a huge difference when it comes to working as a cabin crew.
It's very important.
It's
And
very
it makes
important,
the life easier, you know, like it makes, if your team works good, it's so much easier, you know, like everything is so much easier because you know that, okay, something happened, your team is gonna help you, you know, but
you don't want to feel like you're alone.
Yes.
Like you're just doing everything by yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that answer. What are some misconceptions about flight attending that people have about the job?
Misconceptions that we are flirting with pilots, maybe.
That what? Yeah, you're
the cabin crew are flirting with pilots. Like, no, this is not happening.
Do people think that you guys are just flirting, or do they think maybe that you guys are like, I don't know, hooking up, or maybe in relationships, you know, typically like more likely to get married?
I think people, they have a lot of misconceptions with the pilots, you know, like, but they are just normal people that they have normal life, you know, like.
They're just normal people, right?
Yes, like, I don't know, like, then as well, like, the thing that people, they believe that we are traveling the world, you know. Like,
people think.
No, we are not of course, I mean, there are cabin crews that they are traveling the world, it's true. But in case, like, if you are in Ryanair, you don't have overnight, so you are not traveling the world. You can do it by yourself with your staff travel. And in my case, yes, like I stay outside while I'm working, but as well when I'm flying, like I go and I come back. So again, I'm not like traveling the world, but yeah, like this is like I think the biggest misconceptions that people they
think
do
that
about
it's really international, and sometimes people think that it's kind of glamorous sometimes.
But it is glamorous, like
even in Ryanair, it's more glamorous. Or I think now it's more glamorous with your new job.
No, mine is more glamorous.
It is more glamorous.
But yes, it's like, I mean,
in terms of the grooming standard, you have to have your nails done, you have to have like you have to wear makeup. At minimum, what's the minimum? Like mascara, lipstick?
Yeah, nowadays, like for example in Ryanair, they really they are like more how you call it, tolerant. It's not like it was before, you know, like the rules they change.
Okay,
so everything it's more tolerant, and as well, like, you know, with the tattoos now, some companies they allow tattoos.
Yes.
They allow piercings. I mean, my company is still a bit strict on that. Like I cannot wear piercings or tattoos visible or things like that. I mean, then it depends of the companies, but apart from that, you know, like
just have to look good.
Yes.
Just have to
Then
look good.
I don't think there is another misconception, only apart from the thing that people, they believe that we are traveling a lot.
Traveling a lot and then the pilots. But one thing I did actually meet a couple of crew who actually were either married, like there was one colleague or one cabin crew, she was saying my boyfriend's a pilot, or she said my husband's a pilot. She'd always, always be like, and not many, maybe like 2 that I met.
But also, I think I'm talking about like my experience. To be honest, I prefer to have someone else outside of aviation world.
Yeah.
And I think most of the people are like that. You know, they prefer to have someone else outside of aviation world because it's better.
It's better. Yeah. Is it because of the schedule, or is it just to not really mix your work and your love life like too much?
Yeah, and as well, like, because you know, like when we are with aviation world, we are just like speaking about aviation, you know. So
always speaking about
it's
aviation.
always better to have someone else that doesn't work in aviation, so you can speak about something else different.
Yeah.
And as well, you're gonna meet new people that have like different jobs, you know. Like, so it's not only aviation world, you know. So it's nice to be outside of the aviation world sometimes, you know.
And while we're on that topic, actually, do you think it's difficult for someone to maintain like a relationship at all, or maybe even like get married or have kids? What would you say?
Like, for example, that question, for example, if you are in Ryanair, it's easier, you know, because you go back home every day, you know. So like, it's kind of easier if you want to have a relationship, if you want to have a family, you know, it's easier. In my case now, on my new company, it's a bit more difficult because we are outside for like 15 days, 20 days, you know. So it's a bit more difficult, but nothing is impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
When you want something, you know, if you want to work it, will work it.
Yeah.
And but again, it depends, you know, like you have to find someone else that is going to be able to
manage that lifestyle with you,
to understand, your new lifestyle.
Yes. So. Yeah, because I remember because you do get maternity leave the moment you get pregnant.
Yes, you
cannot fly.
Yes.
So it's almost like
on the ground.
Yes, you have to stay on the ground, and you just get the base pay, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So to anybody who gets pregnant or on the job, and you are worried about that, just know that you don't have to quit the job and get another one. You can just have your baby and come back when the baby is born.
Yes.
Or like after maternity period.
You have them, because then the maternity period is going to depend in which country you are.
Which
so
country?
It depends of the
country that you're living in.
The country that you're living is going to have different months. But yes, as soon as you get pregnant, you stop flying, but you have your basic. In both, like in Ryanair or in my company, it's the same. Yes.
Which is very good.
Yes.
Very, very good. And it makes sense because it's not safe to fly when pregnant.
Yes.
Okay, so final question. Looking back at your 13 years in aviation, what accomplishments are you most proud of? What is your proudest moment?
I don't know, like I accomplished, like I met so many people, like yes, I met so many people. I was able to live in 3 different countries already, because I started in Spain, then I went to Germany, now I'm in Cyprus. And okay, with this new company, I'm able as well to kind of live part-time in another country. So, I mean, it's about that, you know, and the fact that you can, with our staff travel, you are able to travel in many countries, and now with my new company, I even have a better ID travel that I can be able to travel outside of Europe.
Yes.
Because in Ryanair, the staff travel only works for Ryanair
network.
In my new company, I can travel with another airlines, so it's much better, and I can go outside of Europe. But yeah, like it's amazing. I'm like
the whole. It's just the lifestyle, basically.
Yes,
which is
the experience. You know, the thing that you are able to do. Yes, to travel to different destinations all the time is very crazy. Like if you think about it, like in 1 week, you went already maybe to 5 or 6 different countries in the same week, and like for your friends they are like, what, like how you do that? It's crazy. Like I remember when I was going back to when I was in Cyprus and I was finishing the job, and let's say going to the gym and saying to them like, oh, I just came back from England, or and they're like, what? But yeah, it's crazy, like to think about the things that we are able to do in this job, you know.
That's awesome.
No.
It's just nice. It's just really nice to live a lifestyle where your work actually supports your passion, your love, and you know your sense of adventure. The fact that you love to be around people, to be with people.
But yeah, I met a lot of people during my journey, and I keep a lot of like I keep like a lot of good connections. You know? Like some people, like after so many years, we still in touch and everything. You know, like yes.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for coming up with the idea. And thank you. Actually, we both came up with the idea.
Exactly.
But I think the fact that it's your 13-year anniversary made it like it confirmed that we should actually mark this day and share it with the world, because you're always so helpful. Like the last video, a lot of people found it helpful. Like you said, they were contacting you.
I receive a lot of like messages, like people saying to me, oh, I saw your video on YouTube. You know?
So many people were contacting Ellie.
And
I think she's really helped a lot of people.
I do. I receive a lot of messages like from TikTok, from Instagram and everything. And I'm happy to share my experience and to help the other people, you know, like, because it's a big world. You know?
It's a big world, yeah. So thank you so much once again. We might be filming another video, so definitely stay subscribed so you get a notification. Make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on, so you get that. So you get the notification. And make sure you please go and follow Ellie on Instagram and TikTok as well, right?
Yeah. Morelli.
Morelli. And I'm going to put all those links in the description. So, happy 13 years in aviation anniversary once again.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can make more content in the future.
A few years.
In a few years.
Like when I'm going to be 20
Another update.
years.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Yeah. All right. Bye.